So you've been asked to deliver a speech or make a presentation at an online event or virtual conference or something similar. And you're thinking, I don't want to do this. I don't know how to do this. I have no idea where to start. And I'm here to tell you that you can. And here are some tips that I hope will make your presentation awesome. So the first thing you should do is to shape the presentation around the core of your story, the one thing you want people to understand or act on. Deliver the headline first and then fill in the background. This is essentially the context setter and it really positions you as a storyteller, and everybody wants to listen to a storyteller. Personal experiences and stories are really, really powerful. No one can challenge them and they are unique to you and nobody else will have those stories. So use those things early on in your talk to get to set the scene and to ensure that you're going to get the right action or reaction that you want from this audience. If you have facts and figures that add context, that's great. Deliver them early on because they really help us understand and get the context of what you're saying. And don't be afraid to repeat them if they're really good, because if they're the biggest, the best, the fastest, the first, the only, that's really exciting and we will engage with that. Warm up first as well. Once you've kind of come up with your presentation, it's really important to just practice doing that and hit the ground running. Now, obviously, if you're backstage at a real life event, then you can be doing that backstage. But even if you're going to be going on to an online event and doing it, just to have yourself muted and just be practicing saying things under your breath, or, just put your hand in front of your mouth quickly while you do it. But it really helps you not start your presentation with a big squeak or something similar. Okay, the next thing I would say is really useful to do, and it is a little bit of an art because you can feel that you're rushing through it, but it's to try and pause when you're talking, just the odd, and then say something. Because what this does is it adds a little bit of gravitas to what you're saying, and it gives the audience a chance to take in what you have literally just said. If you also can try and do things like inject the odd rhetorical question in as well, that's a really good punctuation mark for your speech. And there's a way of doing it so that the audience knows what's coming next, because generally if we ask some rhetorical questions, we're then going to give them the answer. So it structures your delivery a little bit and it lets people know what to expect right from the start. For example, what does this mean for us? Where does this take us? Why is this so important? Well, these are the questions I'm going to be answering in this speech, or something similar. Maybe it could be a little bit less dramatic than I was at that point. The next thing is ensure that you begin and finish with a strong catchline which you can echo throughout your performance. And also let the audience know when you're coming to an end. We kind of like that, don't we? We like to know where we are. And if you're still going to be rambling on in 10 minutes, or is it finishing in 2 minutes? You don't have to leave, whatever. We just like to know. So, and it's also a chance for you to deliver your message again more powerfully with everybody listening. You could say something like, I'd like to leave you now with one final key thought. And then everyone goes, okay, I'm going to listen to the key thought, even if I didn't listen to everything else. So that's quite helpful. And also throughout the talk, those key words, that thing that you might end on, you can say that earlier. You can represent that, these things that represent your theme message, and you can be saying them a lot in the speech, repeating them regularly to make them stick in our minds. And it's okay if you've made a few kind of complicated points, if you then summarize that little bit, throw forward and then go to that point, because that's another kind of way of giving some punctuation to what you're saying. And it also helps us to grasp that bit, then we're taking on that bit and we follow you. It's a kind of journey that we go on with you. Referring all the time to the audience and their needs. That's what your brain should be doing from the minute that you write the presentation or plan the presentation. It's what does the audience want to know? How can I help them? How can I help them take this in with them? How can I help them take it away with them? How can I make it valuable and interesting and useful to them? The audience is really the most important thing. And the one thing you must do is really use tone. It's an amazing gift that we have in our voices, in our bodies when we talk, and it's crucial to making a powerful verbal delivery. If you repeat as well, something that's really important, with the tone raising each time, just do it 3 times, no more than that. It can really drive the emotion higher in an audience. Something like, you can do this speech, you will do this speech, and you'll be awesome at this speech. That kind of thing is going to get us thinking and hopefully reacting more positively. Good luck.